So this is the project for this week, and it is it's a tough project, but you've learned everything that you need to learn. There's a couple of new techniques in this, but that's about it. So you've got basically two colors and then a third color. Two colors are ultramarine blue and Payne's gray. That's what gets you this nice rich blue here. There may be too much blue in this painting, but regardless of that. And then you've got burnt umber with Payne's gray. That's about it. I threw a little bit of yellow ochre and had a little yellow ochre here to demonstrate waves actually crashing on the rocks. That's a rock, it's a rock outcropping, and also to demonstrate reflections in wet sand. There's a little bit of a background here, an island far away, but a lot of sand. I want to talk about reflections on the sand and also on being able to achieve wave crash. Now, I've attempted a number of these in the past. There are a couple of them up on the website, and one right here quite a few years ago, but it really did not demonstrate well the wave crash to me. It's too isolated here. We're starting to see some good stuff here on the tops of the little waves. And then the best part definitely was the reflections in the sand. So, by the way, this is a 15 by 22. It's 22, yeah, 22 inches wide, 15 inches high. It's called a half sheet imperial size sheet, 140-pound arches, cold pressed. It is stapled down and stretched. That's just the way I work. Okay, so I went in the sky, and I'm going to put in a layer of yellow ochre, going right over the wave, which has been Payne's gray and ultramarine blue. I should have put it on earlier than this. There's my horizon line right there. Go right over the wave. I think I want to extend this clear out to here. That's right. So to make it look more like trees, I went with a little lighter blue and Payne's gray than this, and I left room for the white caps, and there's some dry brush in there. I'm just trying to soften up some of these hard edges. Okay, so I've done enough damage to the waves and the water and all at this point. I think I'm going to start working on the rocks, the outcropping here and the rocks in here, and get that. That'll help. Once I get the rocks in and all that and the sand, this blue, and it should tone down a bit or quiet down a bit. That was burnt umber and Payne's gray. And let's start up here. I want to be careful to leave some white so you have some foam coming back up. That might work. I go back in and create a little more texture later, a little more definition. There's another nice boulder here. Okay, when I work on the sand and reflections now, I'm going to wet the whole bottom, but leave a little strip of white in front of the wave. Clean water. And you want to get this water evenly spread. An idiot. So what we've got here is ultramarine blue. We're putting things in streaks. We got burnt umber going in. Sand tends to be a little brown. And then we got the blue, ultramarine blue going in. I'm buckling, as you can see. Those are buckles, which I can't see because I'm not the camera. I can see it in the camera. I think I've got enough water on that. I think I got enough. So I'm going to tip this up at least 90 degrees, possibly more. So these reflections are going to be rather heavy in terms of burnt umber and Payne's gray. Okay. This one might reflect right there. A little stronger, you might say. Especially toward the base of the unit itself. Okay, very, very important at this point to not have your water cause cauliflowers. Let's see how that's going. Okay, I'm going to let this dry. Okay, so I am taking off the masking fluid. The painting is totally dry. So there are a number of issues here with this painting. I really screwed this up terribly. Wet in wet is one of my specialties, but it didn't work that way here. I'm looking at this here. This is my wet and wet. It worked perfectly well. My guess is I probably just fell asleep. Re-wet all the white for splashes and wave white caps and things like that. And then come back in with some ultramarine blue and Payne's gray. Dropping it at the bottoms. Anywhere you want shadows, where you need to drop in. You have to kind of work a little fast here. Might not be quite dark enough. We'll see. Then you want to clean out your brush. You want to get a little water to diffuse it just a bit. The wave is not going to be completely, or pick up stuff if you want, whatever. See, I'm going wet and wet again. Gives me trouble. I may have to do this twice. This one I'm not happy with at all. Yeah, gonna have to do it twice. Okay, so it's still nice and wet. Let's see what happens if I drop it in. Tipping it up just a little bit here. I don't want it spreading upward too much. It's diffusing a lot, which I don't like. Yeah, it's just diffusing too much. Not looking good. Let me go a little heavier on the blue. That might liven it up just a bit. Think so. Supposed to have some kind of plan here. Might have helped. I think it needs to dry just a little bit. Let me try. Oops. Thought I got rid of all that. There should be no sharp edges except where you want. I think I'm going to tie this one in with this one here. Yeah, I think I like that better. The trick with watercolor is always the right amount of moisture and pigment into the right amount of humidity in the paper. I already know that I'm going to bring in some warm yellow on top of these to kind of go with this. That'll liven up a bit. Okay, this is still a problem for me. I don't like it. I would like a deeper pocket here, down here. Going to work this area here. I'm not dropping the pigment in there very well though. I don't like that. Trying to build more shape to this outcropping here. I want to put a little sunshine on the white spray. This is yellow ochre here, so just want to make sure I'm not too strong. I can always lift out. Leave it be, Robert. There you go. Little sunshine, huh? Okay, so almost done here. This is a very important part. I take a stiff oil painting brush, nice stiff, and I'm going to make some ripples in the sand. Okay, so there's one last little trick that'll help you a lot with dealing with spray water and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and telephoto in here so you can see how this is done. This is a, oops, wrong way. This is a razor. Unfortunately, it's not my razor I need, but it'll work. Okay, nice blade like this. Works well against darker paint. That looks pretty good. You have to play with this a little bit. I'm not going to do a whole lot, just certain areas I want to highlight.